Alright, what's going on, guys? I hope you're having a good day so far. Today is Tuesday, February 4th of 2020, 5:41 p.m. my time. It is 23:41 UTC, so right here before the daily close. In this video, I'm just going to discuss my thoughts on Bitcoin, kind of go over the higher time frames down to a little bit of the lower time frames, discuss what happened in January. I think we had a really good month here with like a 30% return, and just kind of discuss the levels and trade setups that I'm looking to take. So yeah, on the monthly time frame here, we have a pretty interesting pattern. You can see this is the up move before the breakdown. We had a downtrend, we had this up move or consolidation before this breakdown. Price comes back down here, comes back up to retest it, closes above that level, retest it as support, and then goes higher to set this high up here. You can see the same thing here. We have a downtrend, we have an up move before the down move. Here, let me put this to, yeah, there we go. We have an up move before the breakdown that takes out the lows. Once price comes to retest it, it closes above this level here. So it's kind of the same pattern. So if we were to hold this as support, I would expect us to push higher. One thing that's kind of interesting is that we did set a wick, the bottom wick down here below this level. So we may put in a bottom wick below this level here and then go higher. So that's something to watch out for. I think that's a pretty interesting pattern. I'm going to mark out this level here as resistance on a monthly time frame. You can see it is the highest close within the last year or so. So that's kind of the next monthly resistance level up there. Actually, let me go back to the monthly time frame. So you can see, this was a pretty bullish close. We did close above this key range. I had this marked out as support. Once we closed inside of it, closed here again, and then we have broken out of it. So we broke out of the key range and closed above this high here. So that's pretty bullish in my opinion. Let's go ahead and go to the weekly time frame. Let's see. So on the weekly, you can see we consolidated inside this range for 6 weeks. And then once we closed above the range, we have basically been in an uptrend. So about a 30% move up to retest this level here as resistance. It's basically the lowest close of this consolidation. You can see it was used as support here and here. We closed below it. On the retest, we weren't able to close above it. Price gets rejected. And then here, price tests it at, once, and then for the second time here, it gets rejected. Right now, we are holding above that monthly level, that key support level. So, I'd be waiting for either an H4 or a daily close below that, and then we may come down here to retest this weekly level. This is the consolidation before this last up move that broke the high. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a higher low get set down here at around 8,700. It is looking pretty bullish, but we are at this resistance level. So I'm kind of expecting downside back down here to set that higher low, like I just said. If we were to come up and close above this 95.30 level right here, then I think we could easily push up here to 10,400. But as of right now, we have not closed above it, and we are below the monthly and the weekly open. So I'm thinking we may come and set that lower wick down here, like on the monthly time frame. Set that lower wick, get back above it, and then go higher. I think that's definitely a possibility. But for now, we are at this level, so yeah, I would not just be longing straight into resistance. On a daily time frame here, you can see once we broke out of this range, we set a high, a low, a higher low, higher high, and then possibly a higher low down here. And if you look, I have this text here. Basically, I'm going to delete that real quick, but you can see that once we had some consolidation, price goes higher, consolidates again. It finds temporary support, so at this high here, you can see price used it as support here, flipped it as resistance. Once price closed above it, we found support. Then we closed below it, came down to retest this previous consolidation, set that higher low, and then went higher. So what I'm thinking is, since we broke this high again, found temporary support, if we get a close below this level, then I think we could come down and test this previous consolidation and set that higher low. So basically just a repeat of what happened here. So, and that goes perfectly in line with setting that lower wick on the monthly time frame. So I think this is a very good level, around 8,700, to be looking to either take profit on your shorts and close them out, or look for some long setups. I think buying some spot Bitcoin down here would be a pretty good idea. And if we get some consolidation, maybe run the lows, then I'd be looking to get on board on some leveraged longs. But yeah, for now, I'm flat. Since we are holding this level, I would like to see it close below it before I start shorting down to this level here, because basically you'd be just shorting support, and that's never a good idea. But yeah, I think that since we have swept the high, let's go down to H4 real quick. Let me turn these down real quick. So you can see that, let me delete these, hold on. So you can see that we have swept the high. So after this big run up, we had consolidation right at this weekly level. We weren't able to close above it. You can see we had a few attempts above it, but weren't able to close above it. So I swept that high, found support at the monthly open, and then closed below it and flipped it as resistance, and we have went lower so far. So we are below the weekly open, the monthly open. Let me mark out Monday's low. So we are about to close below Monday's low. So if I use Monday's range, mark out the high and low as support and resistance. If we close beyond one of those sides, then price typically trends in that direction for a couple days most of the time. So you can see a clean break of Monday's low. Price pushes back into it, finds it as resistance, and kind of push lower here. We do have this demand zone, but we have closed inside of it, or not, excuse me, we have tested it once, 2, 3, 4, so 4 or 5 times on lower time frame. So I don't think it'd be a good idea to long from here anymore. So I'd be expecting that to break and price to come down here to 8,700. So if you want to look for a short setup, you can wait for a close below this level. Once we get that close, you could enter with a stop above Monday's low, or the monthly and weekly open if you want to be a little more safe. But I think above the Monday's low would be fine. Target down here. Once we come down here, find support. I'd be looking to take profit on those shorts and possibly flip long if we get some long setups. But overall, on a higher time frame, it's looking pretty bullish. But I do think that we have run into temporary resistance here. So I would not be surprised if price came down lower to set that higher low on high time frame, and then we continued on higher in this uptrend. So yeah, guys, I'd be looking for more downside over the next few days. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Thanks.